Hello, welcome to Hellcat's Penny Arcade. Playing Suikoden. And I really don't have any idea what's going on, so I'm gonna look around a bit. Probably just see all what's going on. Yeah, right now I'm I think I'm still trying to recruit people for the time being. Unless I've already... Oh, no, that's where we're supposed to be. Alright, so that's the guy we're supposed to go see. Oh. Okay, got you. Some armor. Defense +8. Alright, that's enough stuff for that. Oh. Gotta get used to these controls. Oh, so that's probably a good idea to that guy's not equipable with anything, so spend a little extra money here. I haven't equipped that one yet, so let's... Actually, how many can we... Oh, blue ribbon? Sure. It's 199, so we want to get rid of the boots. On a 190, so we want to get rid of the circlet. We're good there. Give him the karate uniform. Okay. So give him one other, and we'll see if we can find something better for him. So that we're gonna sell. Oh, I gotta equip that. Easy crystal, huh? Do I have anything to appraise? I didn't think so. Well, since we're not going there, let's head over here. Oh yeah, I gotta build that guy's power level up, so. Okay, so. Okay, can't do anything with the crystal there. I'll see if I can get to a rune guy on that one. Oh, sweet. Oh yeah, I named it Shitty Castle. Alright. 3. Hey, 6, how's it going? All right. 2 folks to recruit. That's always a good catch. $600. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that yet. Okay, let's find anything down that way. Just skip the shredding, so we're not going to worry about that. Well, that sucks. We all have days like that, though. Hopefully, the next day will be better. Nope, this is Suikoden 1. I was contemplating. It was a coin toss, which one I was gonna play. I was gonna play, well, the Super Nintendo version of Final Fantasy 3 or 6 for those of us who prefer saying it like that. But yeah, this one won out because it's been longer since I played this one. This one I don't have any cheats on, but yeah, Final Fantasy, I have it set to where for every character I defeat, it drops a random item. And it's any item that the game has. So you can defeat, I guess like in the beginning of the game you have rabbits that you're fighting. You could defeat one of those and get an Excalibur, which has happened before. It is a very nice perk. It definitely helps for like for streaming. I mean, it is cheap, but if you're just going for storyline, it's the best way to go about it because you don't have to worry about grinding so much. And especially when you get like the Thunder Shields and stuff, it'll teach you some of the later spells. And now I have a bucket on my head. And now two of us have buckets. Yeah, I'm just gonna let that go. So how you doing, Moonbase Radio? Sweet. I love randomly just stumbling upon people. Recruits are always good. Ah, thank you. And yeah, if you have yourself a good night if you crash before too long. Let go. Get back to the see if I can get me some money. Defense +4. We're gonna hold off on that. Yeah, why not? Quit. Oh. Welcome to Shitty Castle. Let's see if... Okay, so you can go up to 5. I'm gonna see if I can get some easy money. Although I don't think I can gamble with Tai-Ho yet. Oh, no, we want to go this way. I don't want to worry about that yet. I guess we'll let the story progress a bit. Actually, let us do switch some members. Drop off Yamku. Wait, no change. Item. Hand over to Luke. Okay, now I'll switch over. Oh, Tai-Ho is available. There we go. Kai's a stronger guy, so. Formation, he's middle. He's short. The long one in the middle. Item. For the uniform. Oh, he's already got it. Emblem, hand over Kai. Alright, now we'll go check out that other... Oh, gotta go down first. Ah, there he is. Let's hope I pushed the right button here. Okay, good. Oh, no. Can't gamble yet. I'm not going to get $2,000 shoulder pads when the coat does the same thing. No. Oh, you just reminded me, dude. I completely forgot to show this. Alright. I completely forgot. I am a professional. Let's see. All right, and then not look up the chords for Lonesome Rider. Thanks, Six. All right. Let's get back to the action. I need to find out where the... I like having him in the group. Okay, so... Oh, that's right, you don't have it. Oh, I hit the wrong button again. Let's see, shoulder pads. Shoulder pads, okay. So let's see. Hey Terry, this is Suikoden 1. And over to Kai. And over to... not you. Hey, if you guys wanted to join in on the talk, I am in the general voice chat in the Discord. Or if you guys want to participate in chat, that's fine too.
Hello.
Hey Terry, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. It's just another day.
I don't know what it is. Ever since I switched to Brave, I haven't been getting sounds for my notifications. So, like, there might be one on the actual YouTube page, but my computer doesn't make a noise anymore.
Oh.
So I've got to figure out how to fix that. Because, yeah, I'm missing a lot of stuff because unless I'm looking at the screen, I don't see it. This is a game that I've never actually played. I've only ever watched you play.
Yeah, this
looks like it probably would. Is that?
Oh, I was gonna say. Yeah, this one's 95, I think.
Yeah, as I say, it looks like it probably would have been good at the time, but I don't know that I would enjoy playing it in 2021.
It's like the more you play it, if you're just in it for the simple RPG type aspect to it, it's still good. But if you like really pay attention to the story, they kind of just lost focus on where they were going with it. Like the entire process is like, oh yeah, you know, this guy's, you know, struggling and stuff, and then you're like he just automatically just gets thrown in with a bunch of like I guess quote unquote liberators. Like I don't know, it's weird. It's kind of like one side against the other, and you kind of just get flung as a leader at the other side.
I mean, it's funny. Like RPGs have this reputation for having great stories, but most of them don't. Most of them are just, hey, this monster wants to destroy everything. Go stop them. And it usually doesn't get much deeper than that.
Yeah. Or like you'll have some sort of like building story, and then like halfway through you're just like, what? Wait, what were we doing?
Well, that's one of my big problems with the old school RPGs is because you have so much level grinding that you have to do if you want to continue the game. If you spend like 6 hours building your levels, you have forgotten what the story was about by the time you go to continue it.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Yeah, it wasn't until I went to this guy's house, I'm just like, oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Well, that happens all the time.
I mean, it's been a while since I actually streamed this last.
One of the things I really liked about Chrono Trigger was that if you did the side stuff, you didn't need to level grind almost ever.
Yeah.
Like doing the side stuff was the level grinding, and that had story to it, so it wasn't just story grind. But no, I think that's a good way of doing it if they can pull it off. But most RPGs don't blend it quite so seamlessly.
Yeah, this guy. What size is your vault? We don't have one. Oh, you want one? Even though even though you just broke into this house?
I just finished playing a board game, which is supposed to be like the board game equivalent of a JRPG, and I end up I got sick of the actual gameplay, so I just read the storybook and like the problem with the story is the guy wanted to make sure that even if you fail a mission, the story can still go on. So no matter what happens, some arbitrary cause will save you from dying. It's like just when the monster was about to kill you, oh no, an avalanche fell between you and the monster. Now you're safe. It's like, uh-huh.
Great.
And like if it happens once, then fine. But every single mission that you fail, they have to come up with some contrived reason for why you don't die.
Just something random.
Yeah. It's like, oh, remember that cup that you got given 4 missions ago? It glows and an angel comes out of it and saves you. Yeah. So you're okay.
Congratulations, you're alive.
Like, so it's kind of weird because the story is relatively interesting, assuming that you always win. Like if you read the story as if you win every mission, then it's fine. If you actually lose, then it gets really annoying with how just you randomly survive every situation.
I think I need to revive that guy. Hey, Yoda.
Yeah, hey Yoda. And 6 and Moonbased Radio. If you're still in chat.
Big Moon-based radio said he was on his way to bed.
Ah. It's yeah, it was a fun game. It's just that it went too long. Like I was just at the end of chapter 4 when I said, "No, fuck this! I'm just reading the book." And so, if it had stopped there, I probably would have said, "Fine, I'll just finish the chapter." And like, but because there was a whole other chapter after, it's like, "Fuck this!" Like,
and what's really funny, what's really funny about this game is, like, that character was just dead, and I just used a regular medicine on him, and it brought him back to life. Like, you don't need anything special. It's just like, oh, let me just use this on you.
That's a bit silly. I mean, I like that in Final Fantasy you at least need a Phoenix down rather than just a regular potion. Like, death should actually be a bad thing rather than just having 0 hit points. I've got to decide what game I want to play. Now that I've given up on Madara, which is the board game, like, okay, what's the next game that I'm going to start? And Windslayer says death is not the end.
Not when you have medicine.
Significant. Like if you lose a character, it should be more than just a regular potion to bring them back. That's what I'm saying. Like, have something like the Phoenix down, which is a more expensive and rarer item than just a regular healing potion.
Yeah. I should check this while we're here. No drop frames. I think people have been having, like, remember how we were talking about how streams are fucking up? I think it's OBS is the problem.
That's what Della was saying. He was fine with everything when he turned OBS off and he streamed straight through StreamYard. When he was OBSing, that's when all the problems were hitting him.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing a uninstall, reinstall, just to see if that would help anything. But I'm like, well, let me see if it's other people before I make any kind of decision there.
Yeah, it is other people. That's exactly what Della was saying. If you look at the last Minion stream that he and I were on,
Yeah.
The first one just failed, like it just died, and then the second one he just stopped using OBS and straight through StreamYard with none of the the layout, and that one went smoothly. That was just flawless. So it is an OBS thing, from what I can tell. And Mr. Scott is in chat as well. So
hey, Mr.
hello.
Scott. Let's see. What if I can't put people to sleep on this thing?
I was considering Wasteland 2 as the next game for me to start playing. I don't know if you've played it at all.
I haven't.
From what I hear, it's supposed to be a bit like the Fallout series. Like Wasteland 1 is the game that Fallout 1 was based on. So Wasteland 2 is kind of like Fallout 3 if Fallout 3 actually resembled the first two Fallout games. There's like that level of modernness, but sticking with the turn-based combat, and the way the skills worked is very much the same as Fallout. So I'm curious to check it out. As I looked at the first Wasteland, but that is way too primitive for me to even look at. Like, no, it's. Windslayer says Wasteland 2 is good, Wasteland 3 is better. Good to know. I was planning on playing both. I do own both, but if I was going to play them, I would start with 2. So that's good. It's good that someone has recommended or given their opinion. Wasteland 3 has DLCs coming. Yeah, I mean, I'll look at the DLC. It kind of depends what it is. If it's more missions and I really like the game, I'll probably get it. But a lot of DLC is just like skins and
Actual
cosmetic
substance.
stuff that I don't care about.
This is the worst part of this level.
You just lost experience?
I
Yeah.
just lost 10 experience points and now I gotta try it again.
What are you trying to win? What's the prize?
I'm trying to get to the other side of this circle.
Oh, you wanted to and pointing straight up so you can use the northern exit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am on normal hours now. I have a 9-to-5 job. I got a treasure. What is this? Probably medicine. Yeah.
This is treasure.
Alright, let me go.
He says he played the second first because there's throwbacks to the second one in the third one. I always do things in order. If Wasteland 1 was more recent, I would be starting with that. It's just that is too far of a step into the past. It's something that I'm not nostalgic for. So I'll definitely be starting with 2. There's no doubt of that.
Come on.
Can you actually lose a level if you get the minus XP enough?
It would be a lot of I'd have to get a lot of negative points, but I don't think it'll actually take away a level.
Okay, so it'd just be like it put you at 0 XP on this level, and then the maximum amount to get to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh, monster.
No, I'm a 9 to 5 guy now. So
What a way to make a living.
yeah. I get to spend time with my family.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I really like
while they watch American Idol in the next room.
I really liked working 9 to 5. Like I wouldn't want to work irregular hours. It's like that. If I was working, I would be wanting to work, regular business hours.
Yeah, I haven't worked like an hour like a shift like this in a long time, so it feels nice for the time being.
I always worked 8:30 to 5, not 9 to 5, but same idea. It was like the same business hours.
And
I did work in a bar, like an RSL club, and I was like in the change box, and that was not business hours, but still regular hours. So it was like the same shift every week. So at least I could, plan around it. I would hate a job where you were just like on call and they just decide week to week what hours they want you. That would be like a nightmare. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Oh, it looks like I don't have much of a choice. I'm stuck.
No, I mean, obviously, if
I'm stuck playing this stupid roulette game until it actually lets me go.
This is the stupidest part of any game I've ever seen. This is idiotic.
Oh,
I made them think this was a good idea.
What is the question mark? I never got that one before.
Just a question mark.
Dragon Seal Incense. Okay. Recovers all personal HP slightly. Alright. Sweet.
Oh, okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah, why not?
Now, let me go.
I would stop playing at this point. This would piss me off. If I was trying to like play this game seriously, I'd be like, no, fuck this.
I fortunately am a patient man. Like, I mean, I have my limits, but yeah. Oh, finally. Yeah. Finally. Thank you. I'll just save that.
I think with me, I would want some way to control the roulette. Like if you could, buy something that would let you nudge it a few spaces, that might be fine. But just having to keep trying and trying and trying until the RNG blesses you.
And unfortunately, I don't have to win. I don't have to win this thing again. Let's get the hell out of here.
Is that like something that's in every town that has one of these rooms?
No, that's just that specific one.
Okay. If that was like in every town, I would just never play this game.
Yeah, that'd be kind of pointless.
Oh, hey, Talek.
Hey, Talek.
There's a lot of JRPGs that are like really big, but I don't think they were ever available in Australia. Like this is one of them. I heard a lot of good things about like Xenogears, but I never played that.
Yeah.
There's like Shin Megami Tensei or something in that vein. I heard a lot of good things about. I never played. But yeah, there's like Australia was not a good place to get all the video games.
Yeah. This part, this guy already drugged us with tea, and then he offered us tea again, thinking we're gonna fall for it again.
I'm gonna check. I wonder if this is on Steam, like a remake or something, or a sequel. No, it's not. Okay. It's, I just like the name Le Pant.
Yeah.
It's like sounds like a bad translation of Bart Simpson. It's eating my shorts. Like,
Yeah,
pant.
I stole, and this is how funny this turns around. I stole his family treasure, and then I mentioned a guy, and he's like, "Oh, well, then I can help you." Like, wait, what? But I'm guessing it's because of his their past history that you kind of really don't know about.
Yeah. You went to all that trouble to get the sword and you just gave it back?
Yeah. Well, his and then yeah, his wife gets kidnapped.
Commander Craze.
Commander Craze.
How much of a video game name is that?
Yeah, that's the guy you're supposed to be fighting under, like, because he's part of the. All right, who am I leaving? Could I pick me?
I say you get rid of that Hellcat loser. You don't need him on your team.
Oh, that would be funny if I could do that. Like, just send everyone else to do my work. Let's see. Oh,
I'm guessing the main character has to be in the party at all times.
Yeah. And of course, you put him in the back, so I can't use him. And of course.
I'm guessing this is like a Super Nintendo game?
No, it's a PlayStation.
Okay. It still looks very Super Nintendo-y, sort of like very 16-bit sprites.
Well, once you get to like where you get more runes, and that's when they add the animations to it.
Okay.
And then you could really start to see where. Oh, which one do I go in? This one.
There was a game, and I can't remember the name of it, but the game starts in 8-bit, and then as you progress, you get to 16-bit, then PlayStation era, and like as you progress through the game, you go through all the different sort of stages of RPG history.
Ah. No, I don't think I've seen that one. Oh, I forgot to put the guy in front now. That's one thing I really hate about. You get sidetracked, and next thing you know, the guy that's supposed to be the big badass is still stuck in the back.
It's Evo Land. That's the name of the game I was thinking of.
Which one?
It starts in like 8-bit top down, sort of like the first Zelda, and it progresses to Super Nintendo and like PlayStation and so on.
Was it Eagle Land?
EVO LAND. Evo
Evo
Land.
Land. Okay. Nah, I've never heard of that.
I mean, it's not a brilliant game or anything. I just think it's a cool concept. Yeah, Talik has put it in chat. Evo Land.
Hey, Talik, are you part of our Discord? Yeah, if you wanted to, you can join us in the general chat. Should be able to get in there.
Room for one more. One of us. One of us.
Let's see. Do I kill him or do I let him go?
You kill him.
And he's dead.
Hurrah. Always got to kill those people. I think the only exception I ever make is Magus in Chrono Trigger. Because, I'd rather have him on my team.
Yeah.
Because he's really strong.
Because, yeah, he's... It was bad enough to try and get him in to your party.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, you're coming with us.
Yes. Unless I know ahead of time that it's a bad idea, it's like, yeah, just kill him.
Well, and it's really funny is that it's a major event in a game. Choosing whether or not to just outright murder someone.
Yeah.
It has no effect on the rest of the game whatsoever.
I think that it didn't.
It is never brought up again.
Yeah. I mean, most games don't really have the means to allow that kind of impact of the choices. Any game that offers that kind of choice is either text-based and that is very easy to offer multiple paths through that.
Yeah.
Or the impact of your decisions is nominal at best. Like the Telltale games, they hype up, oh, your choices matter. No, they don't. No. None of your choices matter in any of those games. Not even a little bit.
No, I'll say the choices you make depends on how you want to feel about the game later.
Yeah, I mean, you choose the options that make you feel good about your decisions, sure, but the actual story doesn't change.
Well, that's like just take the first part of like The Walking Dead, for example. The Telltale one. You go through and you're like, you can choose to save Carly, who eventually kind of like they kind of build a relationship to where that's you're going to be dating this person, if it goes that far. Or you can pick the guy who becomes your like best friend in this whole thing. Like, he's got your back in all this. And regardless of what you do, they end up dead like 2 episodes later.
Yeah. And I actually said that on Della's playthrough, is like you can see that this is where they realized they bit off more than they could chew with the whole player choice thing. Because you make the decision in episode 1. In episode 2, the surviving character does not go with you to the farmhouse.
Yeah.
They stay behind. So they're barely in chapter 2. They're like the beginning and the end. And then they die in chapter 3.
Yeah.
It's like they realized, oh shit, we can't make this entire episode twice. One with Carly, one with Doug. That is just going to cost way too much money and for not enough benefits. It's like, let's have them stay back at camp and not be in this episode.
They'll be separated for a bit, and then when they come back, we're just going to kill them off.
Yeah. Or like with Larry having the heart attack when they're in the freezer. If you don't kill him, Kenny does. So the exact same thing happens. It's just, did you kill him or did Kenny kill him?
Yeah.
And like maybe one of those options is easier on your conscience, but the story progresses down the exact same path, no matter what.
Yeah. Regardless of what you do, nothing changes.
Yeah, no, and I think they were kind of banking on people not doing multiple playthroughs so that they could maintain the illusion that their choices made a difference. As soon as you start up your second playthrough, you make one choice different to your first playthrough. It's like, oh, I see.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I didn't do a thing. Like,
yeah, and same with Life is Strange. Like, even something as significant as saving Kate from committing suicide, all that does is add one extra scene where you visit her in hospital. That's it. It's like, it doesn't change the plot in any meaningful way that she's still alive.
It's like saving the creatures in Super Metroid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel better about yourself having not killed 3 animals.
Yeah, well, that's it. There's no meaningful difference. And, like, the only games that did do meaningful differences were, like, the ones that are effectively just text-based, where there's, like, maybe a graphic or 2 along the way, but you're reading the game far more than you're looking at pictures of it, because text is cheap. You can back off hundreds of pages, and it doesn't really cost that much to animate or put it on the screen. So games like that, it's fine, like visual novels and such. But an actual proper game, they can't have large portions of the game that 30% of players are going to see.
Yeah,
it's just a waste of their money. That's why I always give credit to things like GTA, where obviously, like, there's no major plot differences in the story, but they do go to a lot of trouble to put little things in the game that people are going to not really pay attention to. Like, the one that we were talking about on Six's stream is, like, there's quite nice artwork in in the subway station, and like 99% of players are just going to walk past it and never even notice it.
Yeah.
But for the people who are interested, they can actually, oh, that's actually quite a cool picture. And they could have just had a blank wall or just some sort of generic, poster or something. But they went to the trouble of doing an actual painting of like two horses, and that is effort they didn't need to go to. And I respect that they made the effort. Have you played the remake of Final Fantasy VII?
Yes.
What do you think?
I liked it as far as the fact that it was a different story. I really wish they would have at least had an option for turn-based.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, it's not available on PC, obviously, but when the exclusivity runs out and they do port it, that's the main thing that's holding me back. Is like, I don't know if I like this combat style.
Like, I'm okay with, like, if you've played Crisis Core.
No, I haven't.
I'm okay with that. And it's pretty much just Crisis Core with three playable players.
See, my thing is, it's fine for Crisis Core because that's a spin-off.
Yeah.
This is claiming to be a remake of one of the mainline entries, and also the name. It is in no way a remake of the first Final Fantasy VII.
No, it's a reboot. Like,
yeah. And I think if they just not named it that, they probably would have sold fewer copies, but they also would have. I would have been far more eager to buy it if it was painted as, oh yeah, we just took the same characters from Final Fantasy VII and just made a cool new story. It's like, oh, okay. But by calling it a remake, that sets expectations.
Yeah.
And the ending really pissed me off. I've watched playthroughs of it.
I'm not content with the ending, but I'm curious to see where episode 2 is gonna go.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll probably watch a playthrough of episode 2 as well. But to me, they're basically saying those ghosts were the only thing keeping the game following the plot of the original, and by killing them, they're basically saying, okay, thank God we don't have to follow the plot of the first game anymore. We can do whatever the hell we want. Like, that's not what I'm signing up for. That's me out if that's the direction you want to go.
Yeah, and as soon as at the end, I'm just like, I saw Zach take a step. I'm like, what? No, like, no. You're supposed to be dead, motherfucker.
Well, that's it. Like, my big concern is they want to keep Aerith alive. That is why they set the precedent of we don't have to follow the original.
I'm gonna laugh when they kill her off, and then she's just like, "Well, I don't really want to, but I have to." Like, everyone's gonna fucking call that. Like,
it's Aerith's death is too critical to the story.
Yeah.
To remove, and my main concern is the reason they want the freedom to deviate from the original is so that they can keep her alive, because they know that she's a popular character and that people will naively want her to stay alive.
I will admit though that they killed her off way too quickly in the original. Because you don't even they kill her off, and then I think later on in that disc you get her her level 4 ultimate attack, And I'm like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Well, no, you can get that before she dies. You have to know where it is, obviously, but no, you can get it before she dies. It's just that.
Well, I'm not gonna spend the time it would take for her to get that attack.
No.
Like that would.
Nor should you.
That would be pointless.
Very, very. But my thing is like, for me, I think the reason it stuck out is this was the first time a character in a video game died for real. Like, not just died because of what I was doing and I fell down a pit or something.
Yeah.
But died and couldn't come back. And I think that was the same for a lot of people, and that's why it had so much impact.
Yeah.
So, Sir Adamantine is in chat. So,
hey, Addy.
Hello. It's I'm just worried that they're trying to keep Aerith alive, and I think that'll just destroy the entire plot.
Yeah, that'd be kind of pointless.
I just hated those ghost things in general, and like hallucinations of Sephiroth. He's not even meant to be in the game yet.
I kind of wish that they played that a little bit more vague. Like, keep it as a why am I seeing visions of Sephiroth instead of just I'm just gonna keep seeing him and I'm not gonna tell you why.
It's there are a lot of things about the game that I really like the look of. Like, I think the graphics are amazing. I think that is one hell of a very beautiful game.
Oh,
and the voice acting is top notch.
I wish they would have put that in there if they could have. But they could. I mean, they probably couldn't have unless they wanted to like put another 2 discs on.
But no, the graphics, the voice acting. I thought the fact that the NPCs have like unique conversations as you run past them was like a nice little touch. The whole thing with Chadley, where you've got these missions to get more materia. I thought that was a cool idea. The way you level up weapons is all this is really good stuff. It's just the middle of the game looks really, really boring. It looks like it's really cool, then it just hits a slog, and then it gets exciting again at the end.
Well, I was just like, all right, I can't wait to like hunt some summons, and then I'm like, well, where am I gonna find these?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Well, that's kind of pointless. Like, I don't get to go anywhere and find this thing.
My main problem with the summons is they did the same thing that they did in 15, where if they deem it a difficult fight, and you get that little summon bar that eventually fills up. Whereas I preferred it when you just summoned them because you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need special circumstances to summon them. It's just like, hey, I want to do a bunch of fire damage. I'm going to summon Ifrit.
Yeah, and it's based off of your stats, not the monsters.
Exactly. So no, that was disappointing. I don't like that they did it that way. I thought 15 was disappointing in general, so I don't like that they're emulating it.
Let's see, what do I have? Who's got the crap?
Now that I think about it, I think 10 was the last Final Fantasy game that I got like really, really into. Because 11 was an MMO, 12 I hated, 13 was just corridor simulator, 14 was another MMO, and 15 was shit.
Yeah, 13 was a walking simulator.
It really was. There was no deviation from the main plot. Like, 10 was very linear. Like, I'm not going to pretend it wasn't. 13 took away any pretense of it being linear. It's just like, here is your corridor to walk down. No, there is nothing down that way. Don't even look there. There's nothing there. Just keep going.
13 was... Let's see how many shitty people we can put next to each other before they kill each other.
Yeah. Funnily enough, 13-2, like the sequel to 13, was a lot better than the original. Because at least it had like a time travel thing going on with it. Where you could go visit the same location in different time periods, and like changes in the past would like affect the future. That was kind of cool. I still didn't like most of the characters. But,
no, a friend of mine was telling me, I think it was with 2. You can capture monsters.
Yes.
And he apparently built up that skill a little too much before he realized, oh God, I can capture these things. And so when the first thing that he captured was when he realized he could is a behemoth.
Yeah.
And so every fight that he had was just the behemoth doing it for him.
Well, that's what I did in 10-2. Is I caught the monster, and I realized that if I used it in battle, it did a lot better than not only did it do better than I would if I was controlling it. I didn't need to control it. It was like automatic AI. So it's just like, okay, I'll just catch the same team that I used to win all the monster tournaments. Just use that.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just gonna whip everyone's ass here and call it good.
Oh, but I will say if the monster tournaments in 10-2 were fun. Assuming that you built up a decent team, those were fun to go through. Even being like AI fights, effectively, building up the skills and like planning combos and things like that between your teammates. That was a lot of fun.
We found an elf.
Let's say, oh, that's fine.
I couldn't think of anything, so I called it Shitty Castle. Welcome to the Great Shitty Castle. I love it. I love it when you name something just completely egregious like that, and they're like, "Oh my god, that's a great name." It's like, great, you guys.
I'm terrible at coming up with names. I just use the default if there is one. Otherwise, I just call everyone like Terry or like in Secret of Mana. My characters were Terry, which was the boy, Girl, which was the girl, and Sprite, which is the sprite. And that was my brilliant naming scheme. I don't even rename Pokemon. Pokemon have names. They don't need me to rename them.
Yeah.
I even got annoyed that when you traded with NPCs, the Pokemon you received had nicknames. It's like, no, this should be called Farfetch'd, not Ducks.
Yeah.
And you can't change it because, it's not your Pokemon, essentially, so you don't get to rename it. It's stuck as Ducks.
I want to trade it back for one that actually has its own name.
Yeah.
Alright. I just want to know when
I got very frustrated with Pokemon because they made it too hard to actually catch them all. Like, it was bad enough that you needed to buy 2 games to do it in the first place. But then you started needing multiple systems, and trading trading Pokemon between generations. If you actually wanted to get the entire Pokedex filled out, it's like, no, fuck you.
You could rename them with a Game Shark.
I didn't have one.
Hey, Shio. I'm going to let you know. If you want to join us in the Discord, we are in the general chat.
Talek pussied out, so Gio, you got to take his place.
Talek's a she.
Oh.
Isn't I think.
Oh.
I could be wrong.
And gender, regardless of gender, they didn't show up, so I just assume everyone's a guy.
I watched a couple streams. Yeah, I should probably buy some armor for that guy. Probably a really good idea.
Well, it's an RPG. Surely the more skin you have exposed, the better your defense. Isn't that how it works?
That's only if you're a woman.
And Gio wants to know what game this is. Suikoden?
Suikoden, yeah. Steel shield. Okay. I'll give him the leather armor then. Hand over to that guy.
You want the brass armor or the brass armor?
Apparently, leather is armor than brass. Leather is stronger than brass, so sure, why not? Not you. Hey, Pete.
Yeah, hey Pete. Oh, Poiter. Call him by his real name. He wants to bring back Rickroll. I think it's still around. It's just less popular. Ah, there's Talek.
Hey, Tal. How's your day going?
Yeah. Decent, I guess.
I can't hear you.
Let me increase my volume. Okay, how's that?
There you go.
Okay, there you are.
Okay. My headset's being really weird.
Ah,
Gotcha.
well, I can hear you now, so that's good. You were saying you've heard of Evoland. Did you play it at all?
No, I haven't, but it did catch my interest.
I mean, I thought it was a cool idea. I didn't end up finishing it. I played a decent chunk of it, but yeah, it's a cool idea. So I mean, it's definitely worth checking out if you can get it for cheap.
Sure. Yeah, better not cause a stir. Let's head back into town.
If you can find another roulette wheel to
Spend another 6 hours on.
yeah. And
wait,
hey,
sorry.
Kyla.
Hey,
Kyla
Kyler.
says his feet and back hurt.
That is the price of age.
Being an old fart. Well, I think his alien DNA can probably just repair the damage, so he's going to be fine. His work sucks and he's old. Hopefully your work does not involve sucking, because I think that might be a bit... I don't know that it's legal in America.
I'm not one to shame, but
I mean, it depends where you are.
that's not happening, man.
What's that, sorry?
What?
I think Talek said something.
Yeah, it depends where you are.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, I'm just going by TV. I see people get arrested for prostitute or hiring a prostitute or being a prostitute, and I just assumed it was against the law over there. I suppose Vegas allows it.
Actually, I was thinking of Vegas. It makes you wonder how it's going.
Vegas, inside Vegas itself is, but I think outside of like where the strip is, I think it's legal there.
Okay.
Because there's Vegas and there's Paradise, and it's legal in Paradise, I think.
Surprise!
Probably how it got its name. I think it's legal down here, or at least in New South Wales.
In practice.
I haven't really looked into it because it's not something that I would spend my money on. But
sure.
I've got a hand, and my hand is free. I don't need to pay someone for an orgasm.
So there's a stand-up. He has a joke. He's always talking about how women offer men hand jobs, like it's some sort of
oh yeah,
like it's some sort of consolation prize. It's like
Mhm.
it's like, bitch, my hand already has a job.
Called slapping you.
But I've seen on Twitter people based in Australia basically selling their services as a prostitute. So it's like it can't be too illegal down here.
Got the Facebook Marketplace for hoes.
It was Twitter. It was I think Isla Faye, I think her name was, but because I thought she was just sort of like posting naked pictures on Twitter because that's what so many thoughts do. But no, she says, if you want to hire me, go to this website. It's like, let's not do that.
I'd rather not.
She probably has an OnlyFans.
I am almost certain that she does.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's pointing to the obvious.
She's got one of
following
those
the
link trees.
stereotypes.
She's got one of those link trees where it's like, here's my Patreon, here's my OnlyFans, here's my Instagram. It's like, I would be very surprised if OnlyFans is not one of the sites that she's available on. Kyle says, Twitter hose, watch out, you'll catch something. As long as it's on the computer virus, I'm okay with it.
It's nothing Malwarebytes can't handle.
I can deal with PC syphilis. I don't want to catch the real thing.
Download more RAM.
Mm-hmm.
That's ram the noun, not ram the verb.
Yeah. Like it says PC AIDS. Exactly. The PC AIDS I'm fine with. I just don't want to catch the real thing. I can buy a new computer.
No, I brought up because I was taking this. I'm taking this course, well, that we have to for my work, and it's about the different types of malware and phishing scams and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things on there is like, if you get a text or a message from Amazon saying that you want a prize. And the first thing I thought of was I had just gotten one of those texts like last week from Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon saying, click this link and we can set you up with your prize. And I was going to send them a picture of Shio's Not Safe for Work collection.
Oh, yes.
And my wife's like, no, don't do that. You're just going to cause problems. And was like, I think the problem is that they're already doing this.
Yeah.
So
I'm
just going to do it. And
there's
then
a great channel.
Well, then Shio actually did it because he got first place. He got first place in his, and I got second place in mine. So
there's a channel on YouTube called Kit Boga, where he actually calls up the scammers and pretends to fall for the scam, just to waste hours and hours and hours of their time. And it's quite fun watching them get very angry with him.
I will send Shio's Not Safe for Work collection to a telemarketer. I won't give it. I don't give a shit.
No, I did get one claiming that they filmed me watching porn, and that if I didn't want the video to be released, I should give them a bunch of money. It's like, if I believed you, I wouldn't pay you. Where are you going to release the pictures?
Oh no! My family's gonna see me doing something that they already figure I'm doing.
Nothing the internet hasn't already seen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Please no.
Becca says, cereal for the win. It's that was a weird picture.
The more it is ingrained into my head, the more it makes me think that it's photoshopped.
It just might be.
It's still gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think it's photoshopped.
It's I don't get all that grossed out by those pictures. It's just like, oh, okay, that's the thing that I'm looking at.
It's more over a like, come on, like I didn't see that coming.
Well, I mean, if I get a DM from Shio, I already know what to expect before I open it. So it's like, all right, let's see what horrifying picture. Oh, okay, it's a woman with a
Yeah,
cereal in her ass crack.
yeah, Camel's got me broke too. So
This is, you know,
if I see the little thing pop up and I slide down my phone notification and it says Camel on it, I'm like, what do we got?
yeah. It's like maybe if it caught me off guard, I'd be like, what's that?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like, damn it, Shio, like, that is a weird picture. Like, oh, that's kind of gross. I don't know. I guess I just don't gross out easily.
No, it is a photo. It's not live.
And like it was the same with the blue waffle thing. Did they like say, do a Google search for blue waffles and then like, you saw something disgusting? Like, okay, it's not that bad.
Could be worse.
Could be a lot worse. It's like, oh, is that it? I thought I was expecting something much, much worse.
Alright, remove. Gross.
Like even Goatsy, which is like the original like shock site,
Yeah.
it was like one of the first ones anyway. I thought that was more funny than disgusting because at the bottom it says this picture may be disturbing and like should not be viewed. But like I had to scroll down to get that message, so you had to see the picture. Then you got the warning saying, "Oh yeah, you probably shouldn't look at this image."
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Alright.
Yes. Snakes is something I'm not sure why people are that scared of. Maybe it's just because I'm in Australia and like.
Well, you come from a land where everything's trying to kill you already.
Like I can understand like if you see a snake and you don't know if it's venomous, you get kind of nervous. But if it's just a picture of a snake, like, who cares?
No, I'm not a fan, and my friends know this. And we were at a party, and my friend happened to catch a garter snake, which is like a baby of snakes, but still, it's not my not my favorite.
Yeah.
And I'm talking with this girl. We're hitting it off pretty well, and I start to feel like the tongue on my neck. And
God!
And then I feel it like I feel it slide onto my shoulder, and I just stop everything that I'm doing. Like I am. She's like, "Are you alright?" I'm like, "Get this fucking thing off me before I throw it to the ground and stomp a mud hole in it." And then, yeah, she kind of laughed it off and walked away, and I'm like, "Oh, you motherfuckers!" Like,
yeah. If you just done something like, well, if you like this snake, I've got one in my trousers that you'll like even more. My mother absolutely hates any reptile. One of my jobs as a little kid was wait for mum to scream, find the lizard that made her do it, and then remove it from our garden. Take it up to like the nature reserve up the road.
No, I had to do that with spiders with any kind of spider, really, because she was very much against them. So I kind of like, if she couldn't see them, then they weren't getting killed. But if they entered the house, or if they got past a certain size, that because they kept the bugs under control.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, I'll keep the small ones alive so that at least get something done.
I'm not scared of spiders or snakes. Like if it's one that's venomous, I probably wouldn't want to go near it. But like if you just send me a picture of a spider or a snake, and we're like, okay, whatever. And I'd probably be quite alarmed if there was a snake in my apartment, because there should be no animals in my apartment. Because how would it get up here, kind of thing? That'd be kind of weird and alarming. But as long as I could get rid of it. It says he likes snakes and spiders. Must be an Aussie thing.
Like I said, you got a country that is built around killing things. Things that are trying to kill you. You kind of get used to them.
I guess. I mean, but I've got Australian friends, former friends, I suppose. That one of them is terrified of spiders, and so I don't know. I don't get it. I guess everyone's scared of something, but yeah, I guess when it comes to spiders and snakes, then they're not triggers for me. They're just whatever. Just animals.
I was afraid of everything as a kid, so.
Afraid of what, sorry?
Everything.
Oh.
I was the Chucky Finster of my day.
Man, I haven't watched Rugrats in a long time. I kind of only watched it because my brothers liked it.
Have a good night, Becca.
Right, see you, Becca.
Nah, I used to be afraid of birds.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not far off, but
I could see that with certain birds, depending on the type. It could be something to be worried about.
But yeah,
If it's just a seagull on the beach, then no. But
I wasn't afraid of like seagulls, but it was. I lived around a lot of tall grass, so like everything, like not so subtly, just jumped out at you.
Yeah, because I could understand being scared of, say, magpies that tend to swoop and hit people in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Because they can hurt you. They can cause damage, and
pine beetles were a pain in the ass.
Yeah, like if I'm walking to the supermarket and a magpie swoops at me, I'm gonna go shit and try and get out of the way because it
Did I ever send you that picture?
I don't think so.
Because that's right. I didn't do it because I didn't get it finished in time. No, I sent. I took a picture of an Australian magpie, and I took a picture of an American magpie, and put them next to each other.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, well, you can tell that this is the Australian magpie because the picture's upside down.
And Kyla brings up emus, and I'm not sure. Like, I don't think I've ever actually seen an emu in real life. I mean, it's fun to play that up because we lost. Well, it's silly to even call it a war, but because we lost the emu war, yeah, I like to play it up. But I don't know, if I saw an emu, I probably wouldn't be scared of it. I guess context is everything. Like I said, if there was an emu in my bedroom, I'd be like, how the fuck do I get rid of this thing?
Yeah.
And like if it's like snapping its beak at me and trying to bite me, then yeah, I'm gonna be pretty freaked out.
Yeah, if you have an emu in your bedroom, there's a lot more problems than.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, depending on where the emu is and the circumstances under which I see it, that makes a difference. If I'm at the zoo and I see an emu, it's like, oh look, there's an emu. If I come home and there's one in the kitchen, like, what the fuck is this doing here? And like, how the fuck am I going to get rid of it?
Oh, I got rid of my my runner.
So, Tyler says, I'm told they have a nasty kick. Yeah, I could believe that.
Yeah. Probably like a kangaroo.
Like, kangaroos, those things you don't want to get kicked by. Those are nasty. I don't know where the whole idea of boxing kangaroos came from, but anyone who actually tries to box a kangaroo deserves to die.
Yeah.
How does a feather give you defense? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
A video game, don't try.
Yeah. Like,
It's
It's like a fist fight. Oh, if I would only been wearing a feather.
oh, and I forgot to put the. It really annoys me when they have the short, medium, long thing. It drives me nuts. Because you have the short range attacks, the medium range attacks, and the long range attacks.
The idea of boxing probably came to someone who's very, very drunk. Assuming you mean boxing kangaroos, yeah, you'd have to have some sort of mental impairment, drugs or alcohol, or retardation.
Little column A, little column B.
Plenty of column C.
A little bit of drunkenness, a little bit of retardation, whole lot of bad idea.
Yeah. Whatever it was that possessed them to try it, I'm sure that they didn't last very long in the ring. Oh, there is one possibility. The kangaroo probably isn't going to follow the Marquis of Queensberry rules, so they probably won by disqualification. They still died, but they got the win because the kangaroo broke the rules.
That's a technical win, and that's the best kind of win.
Exactly. I remember there was some WWE pay-per-view where one of the matches was the Marquis of Kingsbury rules, and it was basically he gets to make up the rules as he goes along.
Yeah.
It was like I forget who it was between. I think it was like Chris Jericho and William Regal. It was like Jericho gets the pin and goes, "Oh no! It turns out it's a submission match only. You can't get pins." He's like, "No, fine." And then he wins again and goes, "Oh no! We just found out it's best 2 out of 3." And then he hits him over the head with a chair. He's like, "Oh, and we've also found out it's no disqualifications."
Yeah.
Basically, until I win.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That was basically they would reveal rules as the match went along that were designed to ensure that I think it was Chris Jericho lost.
That was a long time ago.
Yes, it was. I haven't watched the wrestling in decades, so yes, it was a long time ago. I think I started watching sometime in the 90s, so it's been a while.
I used to watch it. Me and my friends used to get together and watch it and drink and have a good time.
I will still play the video games. Like I don't mind the WWE video games. Those can be fun, but as far as watching the actual show, I haven't watched it. I think Stone Cold was still wrestling the last time I watched. I watched it, so for a time frame.
Yeah, my dad and I used to watch it when I was a kid, and he's just like, "Oh God, they just need to shut up." Then he just stopped watching.
I
watched
also
it when I
checked out
was a kid,
WWE in the late 80s. What's that, sorry?
I watched it when it was WWF for a couple of years when I was a kid.
I remember tricking my mom into watching it, because I saw this thing and they're like, it unites us as a family if you watch what I watch, just so you can see what I'm interested in. And she's like, okay, and she bought it. She said, well, check this out, and it just happened to be like one of the wrestlers was a Big Bertha Faye. And then some other chick. And my mom's like, why are we watching this? And I'm just laughing. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not even really watching this. It's just I wanted to see if you were going to do it.
I watched all the way through the 90s, I think. Like the Attitude Era, as it's been called.
Yeah.
It was like Kyla was watching in the late 80s, so that's before that all started. Back in like Hulk Hogan and like Andre the Giant and stuff.
Yeah.
Around.
Hey, Always Lost and Nothing Else, and I actually have that game too. I have not touched my Sega emulator really ever.
You may want to correct that.
Yeah, I've got a. What's that?
He may want to correct that.
Well,
yeah.
Well, no. We did play Sonic. I think for my youngest Rocky's birthday. He played. We played Sonic and Pac-Man. Those are.
I remember Pac-Man.
Those are his jam.
It's I found a Dreamcast emulator, and it turns out it's got like a whole bunch of other emulators built into it. So it's got like Super Nintendo and NES and PlayStation and like all these different things. It's like, okay, this is pretty cool. I'm mostly using it for fighting games at the moment, but I did play through Donkey Kong Country 2 again. Super Nintendo is the greatest console ever made. They never topped it.
Yeah. So maybe up to the PlayStation 2, but that's a close second.
Yeah, I think in terms of like popularity, I think it was the Wii and the PS2 were like the two biggest sellers of all time. It's in terms of my childhood, my heart still belongs to the Super Nintendo.
Yes. More of my favorite games are on the Super Nintendo than
Yeah,
the PlayStation.
I remember as a kid, I bought into the whole console war thing like big time. So it's like Sega is the worst company in the world, and I must hate everything about them.
Yeah, we were like that
10
too
at
as
the time.
kids. We were exactly like that in school. It was like the wars.
Yeah,
You a Sega or a Nintendo?
Yeah, there was one kid we had. I have both of them. We're like, shut up, Brent. Like,
No, then you have the kid that's like, I have a Neo Geo, and then you just glare at him. We had someone like that, and we were
I
just
remember
like,
Neo
side eye.
yeah.
so who?
But no, it's funny because I was like 10 or something, and it's like I bought into the hype. It's like, no, it's Nintendo or nothing. You're a Sega person. I must hate everything about you.
And then the PlayStation came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the PlayStation. I had no problem with buying a PlayStation because it wasn't Sega, and I hadn't been propagandized into hating Sony yet. So I was like, okay, I'll buy the PlayStation. But I think the PlayStation 2 was the last PlayStation I bought. Oh no, I did get a 3, but I didn't like it.
Now I think one of my last game streams was my son, older son. My stepson gave him his old PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm going through and I'm like, wow, I wonder what's in here. Going through the CD cases that we had, and there's a whole shitload of my old PlayStation 2 games. And I'm like, I'm going to take this. And he's like, I'm not going to play them, so go ahead. And I'm like, I'll just take this, and I will take this. Like, and then one of the old games on there is SmackDown. Like all the old SmackDown games are in there.
Yeah.
And it is such a vast pain in the ass to play. I forgot how big of a piece of shit that thing was.
He said every PlayStation except 5. When the PlayStation 3 came out, I already had a PC that could play games, and it's really hard to justify buying a console just for the very small number of exclusives when you've got the entirety of PC gaming available.
Well, I don't know if they've even come out with a PlayStation 3 emulator yet.
They do.
Oh,
they have one.
They do?
I'm sure they would.
I know that they were working on one the last time I checked, which was a while ago. The only game I can think of for the PlayStation 3 that I would go back to play because we can't get it anywhere else is probably Infamous.
Which one was?
Infamous?
Oh, okay, yeah. It's, I don't know. It's like the handful of exclusives is just not enough to justify the expense of an entire console.
Like I have my copy of Red Dead Redemption right here, so like, you know, that's all well and good.
Like, it would be like buying a Switch just to play Smash Brothers. It's like,
yeah,
you can't justify that expense for a single game. I ended up getting a Switch. It's since stopped working, but that was because I wanted to play like 4 or 5 games, not just Smash Brothers.
Well, they have Switch emulators, so
Yeah, before the age of YouTube, I actually bought on the Wii. I bought is it Bleach Shattered Blade,
Okay.
and it was an arm breaker because you had your main control, which you had the Wii remote in, and then you had your the nunchuck. And if you wanted to like store energy for like build up energy so you can get your special move going, like you had to shake the nunchuck like uncontrollably.
Yeah, no, I hated that.
And then your basic attack is like swinging the Wii remote any which random direction. So you'd have like a slash would be, move horizontally. Your vertical slash would be move vertically, and then stabs you'd have to stab. But it wasn't like perfected, so like even when you were stabbing, you were slashing or hacking. And then you're just sitting there just swinging your arms like a madman for a minute and a half.
It was weird because my dad asked me if I wanted a Wii, and like, no, not really. He's like, I don't really care about it. And then he bought me one anyway. He's like, oh, okay, thanks.
Well, all right then.
I mean, I don't know why you asked me if you're going to buy it anyway, and I said no. I think it's a bit silly. I don't want to wave my arms around to play video game controllers made for a reason. And I stand by that. I didn't really use my Wii all that much. It was just a handful of games that were mostly like the Nintendo first-party stuff, like Mario, Zelda.
Yeah, that's pretty much been the only thing keeping me in Nintendo stuff is the Zelda series, really.
And I'm going to make a controversial statement. I actually don't think Mario Kart is that good. Like, it might be better with playing against human opponents, but against the computer, it's bullshit.
yeah, it's much better played with multiple people.
Because I don't have access to other people. It's CPU or nothing. So playing single player Mario Kart, it's not great.
Well, I mean, there is online play, so
I'm not playing against people I don't know.
but no, you can create lobbies for people you know.
Speaking of, we haven't actually made our lobby for what the hell's it called? That one game.
Oh, that game, yeah.
I love that game.
I can't think of it. Is it right there? Oh yeah, Blaze Blue. It's right there.
Blaze Blue, yeah.
On my desktop.
I actually uninstalled it because I kind of thought you lost interest, and I finished it with everyone, like the story mode. Like, okay, I think Jack's not interested because I played it once against Jack Dunsky, and he's like, okay, I don't think he's going to enjoy it. I don't think he enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought you just forgot about it, so I uninstalled it. I can reinstall it if you want to play.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do it one of these times.
No, I'm always up to play some Blaze Blue. And, I don't know if it's confirmed, but they have said they're planning to improve the netcode in one of Arc System Works' games, and common opinion is that it's going to be Central Fiction. So if it is, then we might actually be able to play without all the lag, which would be even better.
Nice. I am okay with that.
And And when I played against you, the lag was actually not too bad. Against Jack, it was awful. It's like really, really slow.
Yeah, it was pretty manageable when we played.
I don't know what the difference is. Maybe the distance between you and me is just slightly less than the difference between me and Jack, and that made it.
Well, he's two more time zones away.
That makes sense then, I guess. Yeah. I suppose that would be a considerable additional distance.
Well, I mean, it depends if you're talking distance east or west.
I guess that would really depend because that's like we hooked up our Super Nintendo emulators together.
Yeah, that was funny.
We net played that, and we reference it all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
You played Mario World, right, Talik?
Oh, of course.
Well, you know how when you hear the song, it's MIDI, but it's a nice flowing song. We had it, and the connection, the ping between us was so slow that you could hear each individual key. So, like, even though it kind of sounded like all these instruments are playing together, you only heard, like, dink, 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 and it's just like, it was so incredibly slow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's some pretty bad latency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did it say it was? I think it was like 396 or something like that.
Ooh.
I can't remember the number.
It was a really high number, and I'm like, I don't think this is gonna work.
That was my ping in WoW earlier.
It depends on the type. It depends on the type of game. Something like Mario, you can't have that kind of ping and have it be playable. Like, you need the precision timing, and that's just not possible with that amount of delay. Something like Among Us, I get a ping of like 250 when I play with like you guys. And most of that game is not really timing intensive, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a bit frustrating with, the task where you've got the spinning things and you've got to click the button when they're perfectly level. That task is really hard with the delay. But other than that, it's mostly fine.
I just think it's incredibly funny when, like, you would push the jump button down, and he wouldn't even jump for at least 4 frames. Like,
oh, it's much more than 4 frames.
Oh.
It's like
yeah, it was there. Let's just say it was a delay. I think one of my kids had a birthday in that time.
I think it was closer to like 20 frames. It
was a big jump.
Big delay.
Like I'm gonna get my money back for this delay.
Yeah. Oh, if I'd paid money for that, I would have been very upset.
My mom used to play the original Super Mario Brothers. She would be like, "Okay, Mom, you getting to the pit. Remember to press jump when you get there." And she just goes, stops in front of the pit, jumps, walks off the edge. It's like that. I'm like, Mom, she's like, I don't get how this works.
That's not how you told me to do it.
It's that kind of latency.
Oh yeah.
That's mental latency.
It is funny watching people who are new to video games try and learn them, because there is a lot of stuff that they just assume like the game designers and developers just assume that you've grown up with some basic knowledge of video games. So if someone's completely new, even stuff like using the mouse to look around is like a new concept to them, and it takes them a long time to like figure everything out.
Well, the problem was that we decided to pit my aunt against her in the same game.
Hmm.
You can imagine how that went.
My sister was she was a control jerker.
Oh.
So like when she would jump, she would fling the controller around.
Or like trying to run to the right, you move with the controller, jump, move the controller up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my sister.
Hmm.
Let's see. You can have one. Anyone need armor? You do. I think I have something special going on, but for life of me, can't think of what it is.
It says he played a few VR games with his dad. He's great at looking around, but that's about it. My dad actually got pretty into video games after he retired from working. But nothing that was like timing sensitive. He was like playing Rome Total War and Civilization and strategy war games and stuff like that. He was really into.
Yeah, my dad, he was more over a like Lego something or other. He wasn't really into anything major, and the like Wii Sports Resort, like he'll always challenge me to that, and yeah, some of the stuff he'll beat me at, and a lot of it he never stands a chance.
Yeah.
I'll hold on to that. And it was really funny because I'm not the one that started playing video games in the family. My parents did, actually.
Ah.
My mom mastered the first Legend of Zelda. My dad mastered the second one. And then when I started playing, they're like, "Oh, you're playing too much." Like, wait a minute. Wait a minute here.
I was like, as a little kid, always into that sort of technological stuff. So my parents got me an Atari XT, which I'm having a hard time finding any proof that it ever existed online, other than like a brief mention on Wikipedia. It was like not the ST, which is like the one everyone knows. It was sort of like similar to that, but I think it was a tiny bit different. So the first game, like proper video game I ever played, was Missile Command. It was like built in. Like if you turned it on without any cartridges in, it loaded up Missile Command.
There's one that I saw on a Game Ranks video, where if you started up without anything in there, you'd play this like snail maze game.
Oh, yeah. Tyler says Civ is great, but he was a strategy game nerd. I am terrible at all strategy games, but I still enjoy them. Like,
Yeah.
if I play Civ, I'm playing on like third lowest setting. Where it's still skewed in your favor.
I still can't. I still can't beat it.
I'm not good at them, but I like the whole technology tree, like just
Yeah.
building up a city and all that stuff. That part I like. What I used to do in Civ 4 is set the largest map possible and have two civs, me and one other, and we would start on opposite sides of the map, and they would just never be able to get to me. So I could just sit there building up my cities, and they'd leave me alone because they were like on the other side of the ginormous map.
I kind of wish Civ 6 worked the way I was thinking it was gonna, where like we could just build our cities and then just like never interact with each other. But that's not really a thing.
When we played Civ 6, it was like, was it you, me, Kyla, Camel, Della? Was that
Yeah.
people playing? That was fun. Like, especially the one where it was more focused. Like, you have to get a religious victory rather than just do whatever. But even in that, we didn't really attack each other. We kind of just kept to ourselves.
Yeah, the only thing that kept me from last place, I'm just like, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Cam was like, oh, you should do this. And I'm like, oh, like this? He's like, not against me. Like...
Yeah, I always prefer the more peaceful side of those games, like the science victory or the culture victory, as opposed to just fighting the wars.
Yeah.
That's probably why I have to play on a lower difficulty settings. If you try it on the harder settings, you do need to do some war stuff. Like, you will get attacked.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to win by war, but you do have to have a strong enough army to fight people off who are attacking you.
I don't think I could come close to winning one of those games.
I mean, if you put it on the easy setting, then it practically becomes impossible to lose. Like the game is skewed so heavily in your favor that you can be in like industrial age while they're still rubbing two sticks together for fire.
That's why I liked. I think the only Civ game I played was 3, and you could cheat from word go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna build nukes, and it's like I can only imagine watching an Aztec tribe arrive to your doorstep with like like helicarriers and shit like that.
I really miss cheat codes. I don't know why games suddenly decided to stop putting them in. Like, they used to be fun. Like, you play Age of Empires and you summon that car that just drives around with a rocket launcher and blows everything up. It's you can't do that anymore. Like, the newer games, they don't put cheat codes in anymore. I don't know why they stopped. They were fun. One of my favorites was in the first Rome Total War. You could summon these giant, like, woolly mammoths that just stomp your opponent into the dust. They're like, those were hilarious. It was like, they weren't like units in the normal game. They were only available by cheating. They were hilarious.
I think my stepson was telling me that one of the Total War games has a mod that it's like it makes it Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
And so yeah, you get like ants and shit like that, which would be pretty cool.
It's yeah, I don't know. I think there's something about cheat codes that was always fun. Chio calls them game reviewer codes. I guess that's fair. But I mean they're just fun. Like Heroes of Might and Magic 3, all the codes were references to Holy Grail by Monty Python.
Yeah.
There was like Coconuts was the one for unlimited movement, or It's Only a Model was for fully upgrading your castle. Things like that. Or Averting Our Eyes was for 7 archangels in every slot. And Pic's got the Konami code in the chat. That's kind of become the most famous one.
Yeah.
I always remembered down or up LYBXA as the Street Fighter code. If you wanted multiple people to choose the same character, like the alternate colors.
Let's see.
I don't think you actually needed to do the XA. I think it was just down or up LYB. Everyone put the XA on the end for some reason.
If you wanted to, let's see, it was the same Konami code for, Ninja Turtles for level select and 9 lives.
Yeah.
And for Mario, what was it? Yoshi's Island. It's hold select and an XXYBA, and then you can pick a mini game. And then keep whatever stuff you win.
I remember in Rock and Roll Racing, if you held down select, you could choose Olaf from the Lost Vikings as your racer. And he was the one I always used.
My friend of mine got me into that game, and I always did a select. I did a select a course, and I'm like, I wonder if I could make my own course, put the hardest characters in there, and then still win using my own shortcut.
Yeah.
And what I ended up doing is, you have this huge oval course, and then what I did is I'd say about a third of the way through the course, through that first stretch of road, I made a loop that goes back to the beginning.
Ah.
And so yeah, while they're taking the entire huge long way there, I just cut through this little section. I'm like, yeah, I won.
It was funny because I was at a thing in England where a bunch of people who played the same game all decided to meet up. There's this guy with a guitar, and he was playing Paranoid by Black Sabbath, but I didn't know what it was called. It's like, that's that song from Rock and Roll Racing. What the hell is that? And so I had actually gone, I think it was 12 years, from playing Rock and Roll Racing to finding out the name of the song that I liked in it. It's just Paranoid. And oh. And then I explained, it's oh yeah, no, it's a Black Sabbath song. Oh, awesome. I'm going to have to listen to it. And that's also where I discovered Deep Purple. Highway Star is one of the soundtracks in that game. Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf. I'd already heard the song before I played the game, but that was cool. It was in there. I know Peter Gunn, the theme from that was in there. I think those were the only 4 songs. There's not a very big soundtrack, but all of them are great songs. Yes, Paranoid is in Rock and Roll Racing. Gio was asking. It's obviously a MIDI digitized version. And it's not there's singing in it, but the tune of Paranoid is one of the back background songs.
And if you ever do play it, I do suggest you play the ROM hack that allows for CD quality music.
Oh, I didn't even know there was one. That sounds awesome.
Oh, they make a lot of that for SNES and Genesis game ROMs.
That's awesome. If you could have higher quality music in the game, because they were all great songs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Bad to the Bone. That's another one that was in Rock and Roll Racing. She had just posted the soundtrack in chat.
Nice.
Apparently, the Sega version had Radar Love by Golden Earring, but I had a Super Nintendo, so I never heard that one. Oh, yeah, no, they were all fantastic songs. Whenever Highway Star came on, I actually used to pause the game and just listen to it. Like, I didn't care about the race, I just wanted to hear the song.
Yeah, when the Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack came out, I just listened to the majority of the songs on there instead of actually playing the game.
Tony Hawk is where I discovered Iron Maiden. Because it was Number of the Beast, and I was like, this song is amazing, who sings it? And then I looked it up and it's like, oh, Iron Maiden, I've heard about them. So then I had to go on YouTube and just listen to a whole bunch of Iron Maiden songs. Like, this is a brilliant band. I can't believe I'm only just now discovering them. This was like early 2000s that I was playing this Tony Hawk game. It's like, man, I was really missing out. And yes, Peter's agreeing that Iron Maiden have tons of cool songs. Yeah, they're one of my favorite bands. They're brilliant. They're really, really good. And I found a whole bunch of songs through Guitar Hero. That's where I found like Megadeth, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And Sweating Bullets is like one of my favorite songs, just because of how bizarre it is that he's singing, you know, about himself, like, hello me, it's me again, and the sort of weird. To clarify, Kyle, I did know about Iron Maiden. I had heard of them. I had never listened to them until Iron Maiden was Tony Hawk. Yeah, so as for how, yeah, I just they were never on the radio stations that my mum listened to. She was the one who drove. I don't know.
Don't hate, Kyler.
Oh, right, you're younger. Yes, I am younger than you, Kyle. I'm 40, so I don't know how old Kyler is, but I think he's got a good decade on me, thereabouts. It's, yeah, it's kind of crazy to think of like the age range between like people we hang out with. You got, you know, people in their 20s, and then you got people like Skeptok in their 60s, and like people everywhere in between along the way. It's kind of crazy.
I wonder how I'd be able to actually hit the guy.
I was pretty close. Kyler is going to be 50 on his next birthday, so it's 9 years. Because I'm going to be 41 on my next birthday.
Jeez, we're old.
Well, I'm happy to call it middle aged. I'm not old yet. Old is
not quite.
And your age starts with a 7. Old is when your age starts with a 7, as far as I'm concerned. Or higher, obviously. Like 80 and 90 are old as well. I've still got a while to go yet before I'm old. I think Johnny's about the same age I am. I don't know how old Talek is.
You are just a couple months older than me.
Yeah, I thought so. 'Cause I think you're in like 81, like early 81, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Clark says middle-aged. Yeah, we'll go with that.
I'll be
For me to be middle-aged would suggest that I'm going to make it to about 80. I think that's reasonable.
40 in July.
Oh, so we are all about the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should have guessed by the fact that you knew all the same like video game stuff that we did. Sort of like, I should have been able to guess that you would have grown up in a similar era. But yeah, it's kind of cool. We're all hovering around almost exactly the same age. Pete's 42. I knew he was a little bit older than I am. Kyle says, in August of 1971, the world was first blessed by his presence. That's a good way of putting it.
Might need to do a fact check on that.
I think Jack Cochran is it like 5 or 6 years older than I am. I don't know his exact age, but I think he's got about 5 years on me.
I think he's 46.
Okay. I know Monkey's got 5 years on me. I think he's 45, isn't he?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
$44 or 45.
Thereabouts, yeah. I remember it was about 5 years. 5 years older than me. Has Scribe said how old he is? I think he keeps that fairly close to his chest, doesn't he?
He's about 41 or 42, because I know he's born. He's about the same year as my sister.
He's about our age.
Okay, I thought he was, but I know he doesn't like to give out his birthday. I couldn't remember if he was like secretive about his age as well.
I think he was about 42 because he graduated the same year my sister did.
Okay. Shio is saying Monkey was 75, Scribe was 77. So there you go. So, hey, Mr. Dax.
Hey, Mr. Dax.
I think we were born in a good time for video games because we kind of got to see like the early stuff. We kind of missed out on like some of the really, really early stuff, but we kind of saw like from the Atari on to like modern day. So we kind of got to see almost the entire evolution of video games.
Yeah, pretty much.
I never got to play a game on tape. That was before my time. But, you know, from the like Atari 2600 onwards,
Yeah.
you kind of got to see everything.
Yeah, I liked, what was that, Show Your Age Without Showing Your Age by posting a picture of a video game. And, yeah, my first one was, like, where you're flying in airplanes trying to shoot each other on the Atari.
Yeah, Pete says he played cassette games on the Commodore 64. I never got to Commodore 64. It was a big thing when I was a kid, but I already had the Atari, and it was like really not going to happen that I would get another computer. And there's like nothing wrong with the Atari. But yeah, I didn't get Commodore 64.
I think I'm about to call it.
Yeah, we've been going a while. It says 2 hours on the stream.
Yeah, 2.5. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna call it. Well, thank you, Terry.
This is fun.
For showing up.
I always enjoy talking about video games. It's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you got anything to show, Talek?
Nothing at present, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, you stream pretty randomly as well.
Yeah, I should probably make something a little more consistent.
Yeah, I think once
I do like consistent schedules because they're much easier to plan around. That's why I always used to watch Lords of the Night when Monkey was still on it, but I would frequently miss Monkey in the morning is because I never knew when it was going to be on.
I think starting next Thursday, now that I do have kind of a set schedule to go around, I'm gonna start re-inviting James Woods to Jackbox streams.
Nice.
I've also decided that we're gonna start inviting Edward Snowden.
What was that?
Edward Snowden.
Oh, right. That'd be cool.
Just to.
I had the thought of every time Jack Gunsky does his game stream, invite Ryan Long just in case he just wants to show up. Because that'd be awesome if he did.
Yeah.
But I always this isn't like Ice Cube where I know he's not even going to see it. Ryan is small enough that he might actually read it, and that's kind of daunting.
Yeah, I know that James Woods isn't gonna even.
Yeah, James Woods is like Ice Cube. He doesn't even see that you tag him.
Yeah. It's funny enough that Ahmed actually responds to half the shit I talk to him. But yeah, well, thanks guys for showing up. Thanks everyone in chat for hopping along, and you guys have a good night. And we'll see you on the
See
next
everyone.
Adios.